Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching. You're watching Fanboy.
Fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
Dot, I assume Tom.
I get to speak with Grace Curry today about her latest movie, Fall. Unfortunately, we're not talking about Mary Marvel, but hey, if she had the powers to fly, she wouldn't be stuck on top of this thing. How are you, Grace?
I am so well. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I get to chat with you. We get to talk about an awesome movie. Heights are not necessarily my thing. You know, I'll get vertigo on a step ladder. Talk about making this a reality.
I mean, the madness is that we were not in a sound stage. I don't know if you know that. We weren't in a sound stage, and we were on a 100-foot tower that was on top of a 2,000-foot cliff in the desert. So we were able to get these stunning views that you see in the movie. But also we were really high up, and our director was directing us through a bullhorn, and we were doing the best we could to hear him at all times.
Well, Scott Mann, the director and co-writer of the film, said that the shooting schedule revolved around your bladders. So I hope that's a fair assessment, or he's just being cheeky.
Oh, he's the cheekiest ever. Which then I'm like, of course it was around our bladders. I mean, I would say our bladders revolved around the shoot schedule. Because we were so high up, and it did take quite a bit of time to get us down and get us back up. And you've got stunt harnesses for safety purposes. We were strapped in so that no actors actually fell to their deaths during the making of this movie. But you just sort of wanted to go as long as you could up there and shoot as much as you could, because it took so long to take the harness off and just to take a bathroom break. They actually would do a little pulley system of giving us water to get us water, so we couldn't get down and get it ourselves. And most of our breaks as actors were spent just hanging out up on that tower.
So when the shoot is over, do you propel down? Do they send up a helicopter? Do you climb down? Like, how does that work in all of this?
Well, that's a great question. And I think it's something that people are going to have to go see. I'm
not talking about the film. I'm talking about you guys during the end of the film. We're not going to spoil the movie.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. No, we had a cherry picker, which is like a machine that gets rather high and can carry quite a few people. That's where our camera crew was, to be able to get up and shoot us on some of those more intimate scenes. But sometimes, depending on what we were shooting, we would just climb up the ladder. But if it was at another point in the story where the ladder has broken away, which we saw in the trailer, we would use the cherry picker. I think there were also a couple times where I just got lifted up by my wire, just kind of made my way.
So it is very Mary Marvel-esque in that regard. You got the harness to fly around.
Yeah, it was good practice before I shot Shazam. Yeah.
Is there ever a point in this schedule that you just sit there and go, he's sitting there directing us with, from a bullhorn safe on the ground with a drone filming this while we're stuck up here?
No, I mean, gosh, thankfully Scott, I think, really got in there with us, and I never felt that way. Ginny never felt that way, because I mean, day one, when we were first introduced to our other co-star, the tower, we climbed up it, all three of us, and Scott led the way. I mean, he was the first up there to show us, I'm going to do what I'm asking you guys to do. I'm not unaware of what you're going through. And it did make me feel very safe going forward with certain stunts, to be able to speak up and say, Scott, I don't feel safe, or I need to just a second to adjust for this stunt. I felt that he understood that it's a little wild to be hanging up there.
Now, if you were actually friends with Becky and Hunter in real life, is there ever a point where your friends would sit there and go, you know what, let's climb to the top of this tower at the edge of a cliff? Are you still going to be friends with people like this, or are you like, have fun, I'll see you at the bottom?
I will support from afar. And I'll be checking that Instagram for the posts, not for me. I mean, maybe I'd go and bring some snacks. You know what? I am the person you need to bring on a climb, because I'll be at the base. And if you get stuck, I'll call 911. You need that third person. That's what we're missing here.
You got the trail mix, the iced tea, and the great
Yeah.
reception.
And the reception, yes.
When you're presented with a script like this, and then the reality is we're not going to be on a soundstage, we're going to be at the edge of a cliff. At what point does it run through your head of like, this is going to look great on the resume that I was willing to climb this tower, versus the reality of, my God, I have to be on this tower for 14 hours a day?
I think the biggest thing was, as an actor, what makes me want to act and why I fell in love with this is so much of like, I mean, Christian Bale's career and all the wild stuff he's gotten to do, right? And some of the more practical stories you hear of actors, whether it's doing their own stunts or them just being in such an immersive atmosphere that they're able to act in a more immersive way. That just, it was a dream. When I was reading through the script and then Scott Mann said he wanted to do it practically, I wanted the role so bad. It's like, this is a dream. This is what I hope to get to do. And I never get a script like this. Believe it or not, I've never read a script like this.
Well, we can either thank or blame Scott for it.
True. I blame him.
It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. With fall coming out this week, tell us why we need to hit the theater and see this suspenseful thriller.
I mean, I'm the type of person who, when I'm watching a movie and I'm watching a movie with people, I'm like, don't look away from the screen. You know, you don't want to miss this. Everything is part of the big grand picture. And I'm like, no, go back. You can't miss that bit. And the first time you watch a movie you can't get back the first time, right? And it's only going to be in theaters for a certain amount of time. So you just don't want to miss that first impression of such a massive spectacle. In a setting like that, we're in a group of people, hearing their reactions, watching their reactions. Half the fun for me when I've watched it with a group has been seeing their like freaked out faces and them jumping to the edge of their seat. So you don't want to miss it in theaters, and you certainly want to bring a group so that you can see how they respond.
Well, Grace Caroline Curry, thank you so much for your time. Fall is out from Lionsgate this weekend. Where can we find you on social media if we want to connect with you?
My name is Some More Grace on Instagram. If you want some more of Grace, that's where you go.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.